Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you. Our Region's Business. Innovation, transformation, momentum, improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, the drug problem that's getting in the way of hiring, and it may be as close as your medicine cabinet. Plus, how an electrical contractor's turn toward IT has propelled one of our region's fastest growing companies. But first, a Washington County chemical company is expanding in our region into Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. The company's called Reaxis. It's been around since the 1930s, but its growth really began since the recent recession. Marco Vanderpoel is president and CEO of Reaxis, and welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Always like a good expansion story in our region, and I especially like somebody who has confidence amid a turbulent global and regional economy. So yes. Congratulations. Well, for folks who don't know the company, what does Reaxis do? We're
a medium-sized $40 million company making specialty chemicals for coatings, adhesives, sealants, what's around your bathtub. We have specialty chemicals for oil exploration, polyurethane foam for the mattresses or the seats we're sitting on, and a variety of specialties for the chemical industry. Okay, the company's been around for quite some time. Yes. And you've been involved with it for how long? Since 1998. Okay. I worked for a German company, Evonik, which was the owner at that time. And I was transferred to the United States in 1998. Okay, and now obviously CEO and running the show. Based in Washington County, but a recent yes. move and an expansion into Allegheny County. What was behind that? We're moving more and more into specialty chemicals. Reaxis used to be a company predominantly making commodity chemicals, and more we're moving into specialty chemiced. Obvious reasons. There's better margins, less competition, and a lot of the products we were used to make, we have a lot of competition coming from the Far East. So we moved more into the niche of specialty chemicals, and we need flexibility in our production. Customers have various needs, and with specialty chemicals you produce strawberry ice cream today, chocolate tomorrow, vanilla the day after, and that flexibility, which is the key word we use in our manufacturing, we didn't completely have in our current setup, and we saw the opportunity in Harmarville in U Park. U Park, that's part of the University of Pittsburgh, was originally the Gold Gulf Oil research facility many years ago. Correct, yes. They have fantastic facilities and offer a lot of versatility. We needed an environment that was explosion proof, because we work with some flammables, some alcohols, and they had that capability. We expanded our lab R&D capabilities, and they offered that as well. So for us it was a good opportunity to move fast into an expansion without having to build in Washington County. Now, how much of your business, how much of your products do you sell here in the United States? How much is international? About 50% stays in the United States. We export 50%. 50%, really? Yes, 30% of our total production goes to Europe, but we sell to Brazil, Southeast Asia, Hong Kong, China, for that matter, Japan, Korea, etc. Well, has that percentage of foreign sales grown in recent years? Yes, yeah, it's growing, still growing. Although with the current economic situation, China slow down in the Far East as well as in Europe, that will certainly have an effect. Is that a challenge for a company your size to essentially sell to the world? How do you manage that? How do you? Well, we work with a former owner, Evonik, large customer, and we have partners we work with to distribute our products, because we sell components that are normally part of a package that our customers sell to the end user. So, for example, if you have a polyurethane foam for mattresses, we sell a catalyst that makes the foam, makes the bubbles. But there are a whole lot of other additives and stabilizers that go into the same package. So we sell to a company who sells that complete package and tests it. So we work with such companies, and they distribute in Europe or the Far East or South America, for that matter.
You mentioned it's been a little challenging of late. What are you seeing around the world and here in our country as far as that goes when it comes to the chemical business?
Well, the chemical business is going through a tough time. The United States, we see a number of the big chemical companies slow down quite a bit. Dow Chemical, DuPont are laying off 5% of their workforce. Momentive, one of our customers, is closing down the production in December. And we are also affected by that. So that's a challenge we have. The Europeans are still struggling with their euro and in Southern Europe and their debts. So they have their own problems, which prevent growth for a lot of uncertainty, and uncertainty makes business owners like myself think twice before they spend money, and that's sort of driving with the handbrake on. It's the same happens here with fiscal cliff. The issue, as long as it's not resolved and business owners don't see some light at the end of the tunnel, there is no investment, and so it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy if we don't get any clarity on what's going to happen, and we are affected as well.
That's well, it's true. It's troubling. There must be something though you like about our region and this business longer term that led you to be confident to make the kind of investment you're making.
Yeah, well, Pittsburgh is a great environment. It's good to raise a family. A very important factor. We attract people also from outside Pittsburgh. The universities offer very, very good education. Pitt, Carnegie Mellon, to name two, have served us very well. So that's a very, very important factor, because in our industry, as is in any industry, knowledge is becoming more and more important. In specialty chemicals, we have a lot of people with higher education, PhDs, master degrees. Most of our employees have higher education, and which is important to sell specialty products. And thankfully, this region offers that. Very important. The environment is good. Costs are acceptable, especially if you compare to the East and West Coast.
Well, it's great, and I hope you weather the current storm, and this investment, and you're confident the future bears out. It's great to see Reaxis growing here in our region. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Bill. Nice to have you.
Next up, turning an electrical contractor into one of our region's fastest growing telecommunications solutions providers. We'll find out how they've done it as our region's business continues.